beware the Ides of March. Set her before me. Let me see her face.
Come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
Oh, she's a dreamer. Let us leave her. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the horse?
Not
I pray you do.
I am not a gamester. I do like some of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius, your desires. I'll leave you.
I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my conscience merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions proper only to myself, which give perhaps some soil to my behaviors. But let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further of my neglect than that which poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have mistook your passion. By means whereof this breast of mine hath very thoughts of great value and worthy cogitations. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by a reflection, by some other thing.
'Tis just. And it is very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eyes, and you might see your shadow. I have heard, where many of the best respected Rome, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning under this age's yoke, you wish that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet not know of. And be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus. Were I a common laugher, or did use to stale with ordinary oaths my love to every new protester, or if you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard and after scandal them, or if you know that I do profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, then hold me dangerous.
What means the shouting? I do fear the people choose Caesar as their king.
I do fear it. Then must I think you would not have it so?
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it you would impart to me? That ought be towards the general good, set honor in one eye, and death in the other, and I will live on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus. As well as I do know your outward favor, well, honor is the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be as live to be in awe of such thing as I myself. I was born free as Caesar, and so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing in her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" Upon the word, accoutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. So indeed he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside and stemming it with hearts of controversy, but ere we could arrive at the point proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon whose shoulder the old Anchises bear. So from the waves of Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god, and Cassius a wretched creature who must bend her body if Caesar carelessly but not on her. He had a fever when he was in Spain. And when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that same eye, whose bent of all the world did lose his luster. I did hear him groan, aye, and that tongue of his did bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Titanius, as a
love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to do, I have some aim. What I have thought of this and of these present times, I shall recount hereafter. For the present, I will not. So with love, I do entreat to be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will find a time, both meet to hear and answer such high things. Until then, noble friend, true upon this, Brutus had rather be a villager than repute himself the son of Rome under these hard conditions that this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck with much less show of fire from Brutus.
The games are done, and Caesar is returning. Spot the glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look as a chin's train. Calpurnia's cheek is pale, and young Antony looks with just such ferret and fiery eyes as you see him in the Capitol, being crossed in conference by some senators.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonio, Caesar, let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men in such a sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. She thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear her not, Caesar. She's not dangerous. She's a noble woman and well given.
Would she were fatter, but I fear her not. Yet if mine even were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. She reads much, she's a great observer, and she looks quite through the deeds of men. She loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. She hears no music. Seldom she smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if she mocked herself, and scorned her spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as she may never at heart's ease whilst they behold the greater than themselves, and therefore are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this here is death, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of her.
Caesar!
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and then the people fell a shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why for that too?
Well, they shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why for that too?
Was a crown offered him thrice?
I marry once, and he put it by thrice. Every time gentler than the other, and at every putting by, mine honest neighbors shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony?
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I could as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery, I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither, 'tis one of these coronets, and as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would fain have had it. And then he offered it to him again, and he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. Then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by. And still, as he refused it, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chapped hands, and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a deal of stinking breath, because Caesar had refused the crown, that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. But for mine own part, I fear not that fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad hair.
But soft, I pray you. What, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless.
'Tis very like. We have the fallen sickness.
No. Caesar has it not. But you and I, and honest Casca, we have the fallen sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure that Caesar fell down. If the tag-rag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theater, I am no true man.
What say Caesar when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked me off his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. and I've been a man in any occupation. If I were not taken for a word, would I go to hell among the roads? And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said he had done or said anything amiss. He desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, Alas, good soul, and forgave them with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after this, he came thus sad away.
I?
Did Cicero say anything?
He spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that, I'll never look you in the face again. But those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. Oh, I can tell you more news too. Morellus and Flavius, for pulling scars off of Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet if I could remember it. Farewell both.
What a blunt fellow this has grown to be. He was quick metal when he went to school.
So is he now, in execution of any noble or bold enterprise, however he puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men's stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
And so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if it pleases you to speak with me, I'll come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore, it is meet, noble minds keep ever with their likes, for whoso firm that cannot be seduced. Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now, when he were Cassius, he should not humor me. I will this night, in several hands and at his window throw, as if they came from several citizens' writings, all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. And after this, let Caesar see him sure, for we will shake him, or worse days endure.
Send us such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca. And those sparks of life which should be in the Roman you do want, or else you use not. You look pale. Gaze and put on fear and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens, but if you would consider the true cause, why all these fires? Why all these gliding ghosts? Why birds and beasts from quality and kind? Why all men fool and children calculate? weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants do defeat. Nor stony tower, nor walls of beaten brass, nor airless dungeon, nor strong links of iron can be retentive to the strength of spirit. But life, being weary of these worldly bars, never lacks the power to dismiss itself. I know this. Know all the world besides. That part of tyranny I do bear, I can shake off with pleasure.
So can I. So every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
Then why should Caesar be a tyrant then? Poor man. I know he were no wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. He were no lion, we're not Roman hinds. Those that with haste will make a mighty fire, begin it with weak straws. What trash is Rome? What rubbish, what awful when it serves for the base matter to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But, oh grief, where hast thou led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bondman. That I know my answer must be made, but I am armed, and dangers to me are indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a man that is no clearing telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for redress of all these griefs, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. Now know you, Casca. I have moved already some certain of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable, dangerous consequence. And I do know by this they stayed for me in Pompey's porch. For this night, there is no fear or walking in the streets. And the complexion of the elements in favor like the work we have at hand, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand close, while, for here comes one in haste.
'Tis Cinna. I do know him by his gait. He is a friend. Cinna, where haste you so?
Find out you. Who's that, Metellus Cimber?
No, it is Casca, one in corporate to our tips. Am I not stayed for, Cinna?
I am glad on it. What a fearful night is this. There's 2 or 3 of us who've seen strange sights.
Am I not stayed for? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could but win noble Brutus to our party.
Be you content, good Cinna. Take this paper, and look you lay it on the praetor's chair where Brutus may find it. Throw this in his window, and set this up with wax upon old Brutus's statue. All this done, prepare to Pompey's porch where you shall find us. Is Decius Brutus and Trebonius there?
All but Metellus Cimber, and she's gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hide and so bestow these papers as you think.
That done, prepare to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca, you and I will yet ere day see Brutus in his house. 3 parts of him is ours already, and the man entire upon the next encounter yields him ours.
Oh, he sits high in all the people's hearts, and that which might appear offense in us, his countenance, like richest alchemy, will change to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth, and our great need of him you would right well conceive. Let us go, for it is after midnight, and ere day we will awake him and be sure of him.
Give me a taper in my study, Lucius. When it is lighted, come and call me here.
I will, my lord.
It must be by his death. And for my part, I knew no personal cause to spurn him. But for the general, he would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. 'Tis the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crowned from that, I grant him, put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. And to speak the assassination's ladder, which the climber upward turns his face. But when he once attains the utmost rung, unto the ladder he turns his back, looking in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he did ascend. So Caesar may then, lest he may prevent. And since the poor will bear no color with the thing he is, fashioned it thus, what he is augmented would run to these and these extremities, and think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would grow as its kind mischievous, and kill him in the shell.
The taper burneth in your closet, sir. Searching the window for a flint, I found this paper, thus sealed up, and I'm sure it did not lie there when I went to bed.
Get you to bed again. It is not day. It is not tomorrow the Ides of March.
I know not, sir.
Look at the calendar and bring me word.
I will, sir.
The exhalations in the air, so much light when you read by them. Brutus, thou sleepest, awake, and see thyself. Shall Rome, etc. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepest, awake. Such instigations have often been dropped where I took them up. Shall Rome, etc. So then must I piece it out. Shall Rome stand under one man's awe? What Rome? My ancestors did from the streets of Rome the talk and drive when he was called the king. Speak. Strike. Redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike? O Rome, I make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus.
Sir, March has wasted 15 days.
'Tis good. Go to the gate. Somebody knocks. Since Cassius first did wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasm or a hideous dream. And the genius and the mortal instruments are then in council, and the state of man, as like a little kingdom, suffers the nature of insurrection.
Sir, 'tis your sister Cassius at the door who doth desire to see you.
Is she alone?
No, sir, there are more with her.
Know you them?
No, sir.
Let them enter. They have a faction. O conspiracy, shamest thou to show thy dangerous brow by night, when evils are most free? Then by day where wilt thou find a cavern dim enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability. For if thy path thy native semblance is on, not Erebus itself were dim enough to hide thee from prevention.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. The morrow, Brutus, do we trouble you?
I've been up this hour, awake all night. No eye of these men that come along with you.
Yes. Every man of them and no man here but honors you. And every one that wished you had but that opinion of yourself that every noble Roman bears of you. This is Trebonius.
She is welcome hither.
This Decius Brutus.
She is welcome too.
This Casca. This Cinna. And this Metellus Cimber.
Give me your hands, all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. If not the face of men, the sufferance of our souls, the time of use, if these be motives weak, break off the times, and every man hence to his idle bed. So that high-sighted tyranny rage on, till every man drop by lottery. But, if these, as I'm sure they do, bear fire enough to kindle cowards, and to steel with valor the melting spirit of women, then countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond than secret Romans that spoke the word and will not falter? And what other oath than honesty, to honesty engaged that this shall be, or we will fall for it. Swear priests and cowards, men cauteless, old feeble carrions, and such suffering souls as do welcome wrong. Unto bad causes swear such creatures as men doubt. Do not stain the even virtue of our enterprise, nor the insuppressive metal of our spirits, to think that our cause or our performance do need any oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears, and nobly bears, is guilty of a several bastardy, if he do break the smallest particle of any promise that has passed from him.
But what of Cicero? Shall we sound him? I think he will stand very strong with us.
Oh, let us not leave him out. No, by no means.
Oh, let us have him, for his silver hairs will purchase us a good opinion, and by men's voices to commend our deeds. It shall be said his judgment rules our hands. Our youths and wildness shall know it appear, but be overlooked.
And maybe not. Let us not break with him. He will never follow anything that other men begin.
Then leave him out.
Indeed, he is not fit.
Shall no man else be touched but only Caesar?
Theseus well urged. I think it is not meet Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find of him a shrewd contriver. And you know his means, if he improve them, may well stretch so far to annoy us all. Which to prevent, let Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, guys, to cut off the head and then hack the limbs, like rat in death and envy afterwards. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar. Let us be sacrificers and not butchers, guys. We all stand against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of man there is no blood. Oh, that we could come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, he must bleed. And therefore, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an active rage, and after seem to chide them. This will make our purpose necessary, but not envious. And so, appearing to the common eye, we shall be called purgers, and not murderers. And as for Mark Antony, think not of him, for he can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I fear him. For the engrafted love he
Alas,
bears
good
Caesar.
Cassius, name him not. If he loves Caesar, all he can do is to himself take thought and die for Caesar. And that were much he should, for he is given to sport, to wildness, and to much company.
There is no fear in him. Let him not die, for he will live and laugh at this hereafter.
Peace, count the clock.
Clock is stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
But it is doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown of late. Quite from the main opinion he held once of dreams, of fantasy and ceremonies. It may be these apparent prodigies, the unaccustomed terror of this night, and the persuasion of his armorers may hold him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then most flattered. Let me work, for I can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all of us be there to fetch him.
By the 8th hour, is that the uttermost?
Be that the uttermost, and fail not then.
Caius Ligarius doth bear Caesar hard, who rated her for speaking well of Pompey. I wonder none of you thought of her?
Good Metellus, bring her forth. She loves me well, and I've given her reason. Bring her but hither in all passion.
The morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus, and friends, disperse yourselves. Remember what you have said, and show yourselves true Romans.
And good gentlemen, look fresh and merry, that not our looks put on our purpose, but bear it as the Roman actors do, with untired spirits and all formal constancy. And so good morrow to you, everyone. not cold morning.
Nor yours neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. Yesterday at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about musing and sighing with your arms across. When I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, withal hoping it was but an effect of humor, which sometimes hath this hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
And why so I do. Good Portia, go back to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humors of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick? And will he steal out of his wholesome bed and dare the vile contagion of the night and tempt the roomy and unpurged air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus. You have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. Upon my knees I charm you by my once committed beauty, by all your vows of love and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what midnight who had resort to you. There have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their face even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected that I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort or limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure. If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife. Dear to me than the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret? I grant I'm a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I'm a woman, but a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake all the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad bride. Now leave me with haste. Lucius, who's that knocks?
She is a sick woman that would speak with you.
Caius Gregarius, and Metellus spake up. Stand aside. Caius Gregarius, how?
Vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue.
Was it time you chose out, brave Caius, to wear a kerchief? Were you not sick?
I am not sick if Brutus have in hand any exploit worthy the name of honor.
Such an exploit I have in hand. Have you a helpful ear to hear of it?
By all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. Soul of Rome, brave son, derived from honorable loins. Thou like an exorcist hast conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run, and I will strive for things impossible, yea, get the better of them. What's to do?
Piece of work that will make sick men whole.
But are not some whole that we must make sick?
Aye, that we must also. What it is, my Caius, I will deliver to you on the way to whom it must be done.
Set on your foot, and with a heart new fired, I follow you to do I know not what. But it suffices
cried out, "Help, ho, they murder Caesar." Who's within?
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me never looked but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are banished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they frighten me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath dwelt in the streets, and braves have gone and yielded up their dead. Fierce, fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons in right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the street. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general, as to Caesar.
When bears die, there are no comments seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. Caesar should be a beast without a heart, if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar will not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions, littered in one day, and I the elder and more terrible. And Caesar shall go forth.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you are not well today.
Mark Antony shall say, I am not well, and for thy humor, I shall stay at home. Here's Decius Brutus. She shall tell them so.
Caesar, all hail. Tomorrow, worthy Caesar, I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greeting to the senators, and tell them I will not come. Cannot is false, and that I dare not. False, sir. I will not come. Tell them so, Decius.
Say he is sick.
Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched my arm so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Caesar will not come.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate, but for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia here, my wife, dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which, like a fountain with 100 spouts, did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it, and these did she apply for warnings and portents and evils imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I will stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you, great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and the great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This by Calpurnia's dream is signified.
And this way have you well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock apt to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid?
What?
Pardon me, Caesar, for my dear, dear love to no proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. What, Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca. Caius the Guardians. Caesar was never so much your enemy as the same ague which hath made you lean. What is the clock?
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
I thank you for your pains and courtesy. See, Antony that rebels long the nights is notwithstanding up. Good morrow, Antony.
So it's the most noble Caesar.
Bid them prepare within. I am to blame to be thus waited for.
I prithee, run to the Senate house. Stay not to answer me, but get thee gone. Why dost thou stay?
To know my errand, madam.
I would have had thee there and here again, ere I can tell thee what thou shouldst do there. Constancy, be strong upon my side. I have a man's mind, but only a woman's might. How hard is it for a woman to keep counsel? Art thou here yet?
Madam, what should I do? Run to the capital and nothing else, and so return to you and nothing else?
Yes. Bring me word if that Lord look well, for he went sickly forth, and take good note what Caesar doth, what suitors press to him. Hark! What noise is that?
I hear none, madam.
Prithee, listen well. I heard a bustling rumor like a fray. The wind brings it from the capital.
Sooth, madam, I hear nothing.
Come hither. Which way has thou been?
At my own house, lady.
What is it o'clock?
About the 9th hour, lady.
Is Caesar yet gone to the capital?
Madam, not yet. I go to take my stand to see him pass on to the capital.
Thou hast some suit to Caesar, hast thou not?
That I have, lady. If it will please Caesar to be so good to Caesar as to hear me, I shall beseech him to befriend himself.
Why? Thou knowest of any harms intended towards him?
None that I know will be. Much that I fear may chance. Good morrow to you. Here the street is narrow. The throng that follows Caesar at the heels of senators, praetors, common suitors, will crowd a feeble man almost to death. I'll get me to a place more void, and there speak to great Caesar as he comes along.
I must go in. Ay, me. How weak the thing of heart of a woman is. Brutus, heaven speed thee in thine enterprise.
I fear our purpose is discovered.
Look how he makes to Caesar. Mark him.
Casca, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back, for I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant.
Herodias knows her time. For look you, Brutus, she draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, most poisoned Caesar, Metellus the first rose before thy seat.
I must prevent thee, Cimber. These couches and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men, and turn preordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond to think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be thawed from the true quality with that which melted fools. I mean, sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost pray and bend and fawn for him, I what cause will he be satisfied?
Is there no voice more worthy than my own to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar. Desire that Publius Cimber may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar. Caesar, pardon. As low as to my foot doth Cassius fall to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, of whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one and all doth hold his place. So in the world, 'tis furnished well with men, and men are flesh, and blood, and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one that unassailable holds on his rank, unshaked of motion. And that I and he, let me a little show it even in this, that I was constant, Cimber should remain banished, and constant do remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence wilt thou lift up Olympus!
Great Caesar!
Speak after me!
Two Brute. Then ball, Caesar. Ambition's debt is paid.
Where is Antony? Fled to his house, amazed. Men, wives, children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday.
Fate, we will know your pleasures. We must die, we know. 'Tis but the time when the days drawn out that men do stand upon.
Why, he that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant me that, and then death is the benefit. So are we Caesar's friends, having abridged his time of fearing death.
How many ages hence shall this, our lofty scene, be acted over in states unborn and accents yet unknown? So oft as that shall be, so often shall the not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What shall we force?
Aye, every man away. Brutus will lead, and we will brace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
But here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Almighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all my conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let to blood? Who else is rank? If I myself there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death sound, nor no instrument of half that worth, as those your swords made rich with the most noble blood in all this world. I do beseech thee, if you bear me hard now whilst your purple hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years and I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no need of death, as here by Caesar, and by you. Cut off the choice and master spirits of the sage.
Antony, beg not your death of us. Though we must appear bloody and cruel, it's by our hands in this present act you see we do. But you see but our hands and the bleeding business they have done. You see not our hearts. Our hearts are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed to Caesar. And for your part, to you, Our swords have leaden points. Our arms outstretched in strength of malice. Our hearts of brother's temper do receive you in, with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice will be as strong as any man's in disposing of new dignities.
Only first let us appease the multitudes, beside themselves with fear. And after this, we shall deliver to you why I did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
My credit now stands on such slippery grounds. That's one of two bad ways you must conceive me. Either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar. This is true. And if thy spirit shall look upon us now, shall it not breathe thee dearer than thy death, to see thy Antony, making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes, most noble, in the presence of thy corse? Had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds weeping fast as they stream forth thy blood, it would become me better than to choose in terms of friendship with thine enemy. Oh, pardon me, Julius. Here wast thou bade, brave heart, here didst thou fall, and here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil, and crimson in thy lethe. O world, thou wast the forest to this heart. And indeed, O world, the heart of thee, how like a deer struck in by many princes. Dost thou here lie?
Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this. Then in a friend it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. What compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we on and not depend on you?
Friends, am I with you all? And love you all. Upon this hope, that you give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else this were a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that with you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And moreover, suture that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as one becomes friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You know not what you do. Do not consent Antony to speak in his funeral. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
By your pardon, I myself will unto the pulpit first, and give reason and cause of our Caesar's death. When Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we, contented, Caesar shall have all true rights and lawful ceremonies. Shall advantage us more than do us wrong.
I know not what may follow. I like it not.
Mark Antony, take you Caesar's body. You will not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can devise of Caesar. And say you do it by our permission, else you shall have no hand at all about his funeral. And you shall speak at the same pulpit whereto I am going, once my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers! Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hands that shed his costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths to ope ruby lips, to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. fury and fierce civil strife shall uncover all the parts of Italy. Death and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. All pity choked with customs of foul deeds, and sees a spirit ranging for revenge with 80 by his side and hot from hell, shall in these confines of the monarch's voice cry, Havoc! And let slip the dogs of war. That this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial.
Brutus's love for Caesar was no less than his. I rejoice at him. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There's tears for love, joy for fortune, honor for valor, and death for ambition. Who among you would be so base that he would be a bondman? If any speak, for he I have offended.
Not I.
Who among you would be so rude that he would not be a Roman? If any speak, for he I have offended.
Not I.
Who among you would be so vile that he would not love his country? If any speak, for he I have offended. I pause for reply. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glory is not extenuated wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced for why he suffered death. He is mourned by Mark Antony, who, though having no hand about his death, should still receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, which of you shall not? With this I depart, that I that slew my best lover for the good of Rome, have the same dagger for myself when it shall please my country to meet my death. Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make, tending to Caesar's glory. Let none depart, save I alone, till Antony is spoken.
The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious.
He was.
If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak to Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this and Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff, yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Weaver cow. I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause.
We did love Caesar.
What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to Brutus' beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in coffin with Caesar. I must pause till he comes back.
Methinks there is much reason in his saying this.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
Has he, masters? I fear there will a worse come in his place.
Aye. His words, he would not accept the crown. Therefore, it is certain he was not ambitious.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony!
But yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now he lies and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men.
No!
I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men.
They're not honorable.
But here is a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet, 'tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament. Read it. Read it. Pardon me, I do not need to read. And 'tis deck Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, to beg a hair of him for memory, and die, mentioned within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
Patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It does not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood. You are not stones, but men. And being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. 'Tis good you know How do you know this mantle? I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervii. Look, in this place ran Cassius's dagger through. See what a rant the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed him as he plucked his cursed heel away. Mark how the blood of Caesar followed it as rushing out of doors to be resolved in Brutus, so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. God, know you gods how dearly Caesar loved him. For when the noble Caesar saw him stabbed, and gratitude more strong with traitor's arms quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I, and you, and all of us fell down whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred as you see, with traitors.
Piteous spectacle, O noble Caesar, a woeful day of traitors and villains, O most bloody sight! We will be revenged!
Good friends.
Peace there, hear the noble Antony! We'll hear him! We'll follow him! We'll die with him!
Sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not, that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend, and that they know full well they gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor word, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, pour dumb mouths, and bid them to speak to me. For I, Brutus, and Brutus Antony, were there an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar, that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. Yet hear me speak. My friends, you go to do you know not what. Where and hath Caesar thus deserved your loves, alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You forgot the will I told you of. Read it. Here it is. And under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
O noble Caesar! We'll revenge his death, O royal Caesar!
Patience.
Am I a married man or a bachelor? Well then, answer every man directly and briefly, wisely and truly. Wisely, I say, I'm a bachelor.
That's as much as to say they're fools that marry. You'll barely obey for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly, I'm going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend, Jordan.
As a friend.
That matter is answered directly. We're dwelling briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the capital.
Your name, sir, truly.
Truly, my name is Cinna.
It's a
I'm Cinna the poet! I'm Cinna the poet! I am not Cinna the conspirator!
But now, Lucius, his Cassius near.
She is at hand.
A word, Lucius. How she received me, let me be resolved.
With courtesy and with respect enough, but not with such familiar instance, nor with such free and friendly conference as she hath used of old.
Thou hast described a hot friend coolly. Ever note, Lucilius, when love begins to sicken and decay, it uses an enforced ceremony. There are no tricks in plain and simple faith, but hollow men, like horses hot at hand, make bold show and promise of their mettle. But when they should endure the bloody spur, they fall their crests and like deceitful jades sink in the trial. Comes her army on?
We mean this night at Sardis to be quartered. The greater part of the horse and general are come with Cassius.
Hark, he's arrived.
Most noble brother, you have done me wrong.
Judge me, you gods. Wrong I my enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
Brutus, the sober form of yours hides wrongs, and when you do that...
Cassius, be content. Speak your griefs softly. I do know you well, and before the eyes of both our armies here, that should perceive nothing but love from us. Let us not wrangle. Bid them move away, and then in my tent, Cassius, enlarge your griefs, and I will give you audience.
Bid our commanders lead their charges up a little from this ground.
And let no man enter our tent till we have done our conference.
You have wronged me to appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here at the Sardines, where in my letters, praying on his side because I knew the man was slighted on.
You wronged yourself to write such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet every nice offense should bear his comment.
Let me tell you, Cassius, you yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your offices for gold to undeservers.
I an itching palm? You know that you are Brutus to speak this, or by the gods you speak, or else your life.
The name Cassius honors this corruption, and chastisement doth therefore hide his head.
Chastisement!
Remember March? The Ides of March, remember? Did not great Julius bleed for justice' sake? What villain did touch his body that did stab and not for justice? What? Shall one of us that struck the foremost man in all this world for supporting robbers contaminate our fingers with base bribes? Or shall we sell the large space of our mighty honors for so much trash as may be grasped thus? I'd rather be a dog and made a moon than such a rogue.
Brutus, beg not me, I'll not endure it. You forget yourself to hedge me in. I am so
Go
dry.
to, Cassius, you are not.
I am.
I say you are not.
Urge me no more. I shall forgive myself. Hath mind upon your health and take me no further.
Away.
Is it possible?
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash caller? Shall I be frightened when a madman stares?
Ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this, I, more. Go, show your slaves how tolerant you are. Make your bondmen tremble. Must I budge? Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under the great weight of your tested humors? By the gods, you shall digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. And from this day forth, I will use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are wroth.
Is it come to this? You wrong me, Brutus. You wrong me every way.
If I did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not disobey.
Peace! Peace you durst not attempt it himself.
I durst not.
No!
Durst not tempt him.
For your life you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that which I shall
entertain your threats, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind which I respect not. I did send to you for gold, which you denied me. For I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I would rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile trash by any indirection. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was this done like Cassius? Should I have answered Caius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows such covetous to lock and rascal such counters from his friends? Be ready, gods, with all my thunderbolts dash into pieces.
I denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was but a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine greater than they are.
I do not, until you practice them on me.
You love me not.
I do not like your faults.
Friendly eye could never see such
Our
faults.
flatterers would not, though they do appear as huge as high Olympus.
Cassius is weary of the world. Hated by one she loved, freed by her brother, checked like a bondman. All her faults observed, set in a notebook, blurred, and caught my roll to cast into my teeth. I could weep my spirit from mine eyes. Here's my dagger, and here my naked breast. Within a heart dearer than gold, richer than Brutus's mine, if that thou beast of Rome, take it forth. I that deny thee gold will give my heart. Strike as thou didst at Caesar, for I know when thou hatest him worse, thou loved him better than ever thou loved Cassius.
Sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will, it shall have scope. Do what you will, his honor shall be human. Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb who carries anger as the flint bears fire, who much before shows a hasty spark, but cold is straight.
As Cassius lived, to be but mirth and laughter to her Brutus, when grief and blood will temper vexed them so.
When I spoke that, I was ill-tempered too.
You confess so much? Give me your hand.
My heart too.
Brutus,
What's the matter?
have not you love enough to bear with me when that rash humor my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And from henceforth, when you are over-earnest with your Brutus, he'll think your mother chides and leaves you so. Lucius, a bowl of wine.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
I am sick of many griefs.
Of your philosophy you make no use if you give place to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Portia?
She's dead.
Well, how escaped I a killing when I crossed you so? Oh, insupportable and touching loss, upon what sickness?
Impatience of my absence, and grief that young Octavius with Mark Antony had together made themselves so strong. For with her death that titan came. And thus she fell distracted. Her attendees absent, she swallowed fire.
And died so?
Even so.
Oh, ye mortal gods, I...
Speak no more. Give me a bowl of wine. In this I bury all unkindness, Cassius.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love. Portia, art thou gone?
No more, I pray. Well, to our work of art. What do you think of marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This is it. 'Tis better the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, doing himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and
reasons must of force give room for better. The people twixt Philippi and this ground do stand but in a forced affection. They have grudged us contribution. The enemy coming along by them will by them come on and new number up, refreshed, new added, and encouraged. To which advantage we shall cut him off, if at Philippi we have faced him there. These people at our backs.
Hear me, good brother.
Under your pardon, you must note besides that we have tried the utmost of our friends. Our legions are brimful, our cause is right. The enemy increases every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There's a tide in the affairs of all men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Amid it, all the voyage of their life is done in shallows and miseries. On such a full sea we are now afloat. We must take the current as it serves, or lose our ventures.
And with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The deep of night is crept upon our tongue, and nature must obey necessity, which we will niggard with a little rest. There no more to say?
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow, we will rise and hence. Oh, dear brother, this was an ill beginning of the night. Never comes such division between our souls, let it not, Brutus.
Everything is well. Farewell.
Then if we do lose this battle, then is this the last time we shall speak together? What do you then determine to do?
Arming myself with patience, stay the province of some high being that governs us below.
If we lose this battle, you are contented to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome?
No. No, Cassius. Think not, a noble Roman, Brutus will ever go bow to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this same day must see an end to the work the Ides of March began. And whether we will see each other again, I know not. Therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell, Cassius. If we meet again, why we will smile. If not, this parting is well made.
Forever and forever farewell, Brutus. If we do meet again, we shall smile indeed. And if not, it's true this parting was well made.
I lead on then. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it come. It suffices that the day will end, and then the end is known. Away. Farewell. Doth my heart joy, and in all my life I found no man, but she was true to me. So fare you well. Brutus's tongue has almost ended his life's history. Night hangs upon my eyes. My bones would rest, but have yet but labored to attain this hour.
that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only in general honest thought, and common good to all made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to the world, "This was a man."